Bam. Oh, so glad it's Friday. All right, coffee done. Boom. No, not this. And three, two, one. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Friday, November 1st, 2019. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Well, so first, I want to give a shout out to anybody who does physical labor as their job because, yeah, I am sore. So yesterday was a full day on the job site, working construction, and then went to the gym. Had a great time. Then came home and did some work, and had a beer and went to bed. And now here I am. It was a good day. It was a satisfying day. I felt like I got a lot done. I felt like I accomplished things. And the interesting thing about being, knee deep in that much work, that much physical work that you have to pay attention to, is it doesn't leave you much time to think about other things. No thinking about stuff that makes me anxious or stuff that I could be doing or anything. It's very meditative. And honestly, it was so meditative that I didn't realize it was meditative in the moment. But yeah, I've never been one who really enjoys physical labor. I mean, I like doing things around my home, and I like getting my hands dirty, especially if it has to do with gardening. But the idea of working this kind of job not only never appealed to me, but I was kind of averse to. Uh, but what's interesting is that I'm doing it for bigger and more important reasons. I'm doing it for whistlekick, and I'm doing it for my friend Adam, who needed my help. So between those two things, nothing else matters. That's pretty cool. We had a ton of rain overnight, and the back roads are going to be really nasty. For those of you that don't live out in the country, we have a lot of roads that don't have pavement. They're dirt. And dirt roads with a lot of rain get really sloppy. And unless you're driving a big heavy vehicle, you throw your car around. I no longer drive a big heavy vehicle. So I almost went the ditch leaving the job site yesterday. I think I gotta take a different road in today. So, all right. We got some questions. If you want to ask a question, drop it in the comments below. I'll answer it tomorrow. All right, here we go. It's Friday, and so Frank left us a joke. The joke for Fun Day Friday: why does Dracula like to read the New York Times? He heard that it gets good circulation. This is a good one. All right. It has been said, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. And of course, that's a famous quote from Benjamin Franklin, who was probably the most famous person in American history that wasn't a president. Maybe him or Paul Revere. He's on money, but he wasn't the president. I mean, that's kind of a big deal, right? Now, I've always found this quote interesting because whether you go to bed early and wake up early or go to bed late and wake up late, it's the same amount of time. And I'd always assumed that this quote had something to do with the time period in which he said it. Because obviously back then, far more people were involved in farming. And there are things you got to do before the day, more so than after the day in farming. So you got to get up early. But then over the last few years, I started reading about the fact that a lot of entrepreneurs I looked up to and respected, were getting up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning to begin their workday. And they weren't getting up that early because they were working from 4 a.m. until 8 p.m., but they were working from 4 a.m. to noon, and then they'd go to bed at 8 or 9. And some of them do it for family reasons, give some time with their spouse and their children or friends. But then I stumbled on a number of people who were saying that they do it because it gives them an opportunity to focus, that the rest of the world isn't awake, that their email isn't coming in constantly. They feel like they have a chance to catch up. And a number of them find that they do their best work at that time. So I've come to think that there's something bigger about waking up early than simply doing your chores before the sun comes up, because then you can do other chores. Right? It's more than that. I've done it in the past. I've contemplated doing it. I don't like waking up early. I just don't. If you told me that, if I worked from 4 to 10, that's all the work I'd have to do for the day, maybe I would do that. I don't know. If anybody hearing this, seeing this, is the type of person to get up really, really early, I'd love to know why you're doing that. What benefits has that had for you? And if you're doing it just because that's been your job is, it's not really the same. What did I pass out for Halloween? Nothing. Because I live so far into the woods, I have never had one trick-or-treater at this house. First couple years, because, it's a new area, you don't know what people do. I bought candy. Nobody showed up. Next few years, I turned off the lights. I think the last couple years, I made sure I wasn't home. I was handing out candy elsewhere. And this year, I just don't even bother. Nobody's coming to my house. That's okay. I got to see a lot of kids and trick-or-treaters when I was in town. What would I have passed out for candy? Probably would have been like the Hershey's Minis, like the mini Snickers and things like that. That's probably what I would do. Now, I remember back when I had the IT company, our first year, I bought like 3 big bags of candy from BJ's, the wholesale store, the big box store. And I didn't realize how many kids came into town where the computer store was. And in like an hour, we'd sold out of it. And so I sent somebody over to the drugstore to pick up a few more bags of candy, and we were out of that in like another hour. I think we spent $100 on candy. It was insane. A couple years later, I'd hired an office manager who, there was some store he went to that had like this, it wasn't knockoff candy, but it was candy that people weren't generally giving out. And for like $30, we were able to get like a ton of candy. And then inevitably we'd have candy left over. That after about a week I'd get bad. Not really bad. I'd get annoyed because the candy was still sitting there and I was eating it. I don't do well around food. If it's there, I'm gonna eat it. I'd like to live somewhere where kids come to the house. That would be fun. Ooh, it's windy. Oh, it's very windy. Have I ever been into martial arts graphic novels or manga? No. Um, the entire Japanese animated scene is something that's never really clicked for me. And I don't know why. Honestly, it should have. And I think I just missed a window for that stuff when I was younger. You know, there are certain things, like certain movies, that if you don't watch them by a certain age, they don't really hold the same magic for you. Um, Ones that I've noticed are like Neverending Story, Princess Bride. Those are two good examples that I didn't watch them until I was older, and they don't really do anything for me. Okay, they're movies. They're not really that well done, but yet Labyrinth is likely in that same boat. But yet I saw it a bunch as a kid, and I loved the movie. I've seen, and I know manga and anime aren't the same thing. I don't know why, but I've been told they are. If you think about all the types of martial arts, we'll say content, those are probably at the bottom of the list of things that appeal to me. You know, you've got movies, you've got podcasts, TV shows. You know, those are things I'm gonna gravitate towards. And honestly, it's more TV than movie right now because when I sit down, I don't generally have 90 minutes, 2 hours to watch something. I'm, I am excited for, but also dreading. I don't know if anyone has seen. Martin Scorsese has a movie coming out on Netflix this month called The Irishman. It's like 3 hours long. I really want to see it because it's Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, and the third major star is escaping me. But it's getting wonderful reviews and looking forward to it. But it's 3 hours. I don't know that I'm going to be able to have 3 hours to sit down and watch a single movie. Forget about my attention span, just the physical clock time. But I am looking forward to it. It should be good. So when it comes to something like manga or whatever, and I'm not saying that dismissively, I need ideas. I need somebody to tell me, hey, this is something you would probably like. So if people want to suggest one, I'm willing to explore one and give it a shot. Who knows? You never know. You might like something, right? All right, what's going on today and this weekend? So today, back on the job site, when I'm done, whether or not I go to the gym. Thanks, Stacy. After the job site, we'll see how I feel. I may go for a walk, may go to the gym, but most likely, I'm going to come home and prep for the weekend. Do all the things that I didn't do around the house this week. You know, clean up, deal with plants. The plants have struggled in a way they don't usually coming inside from being outside all summer. There are a lot of dead leaves to deal with. So I gotta rearrange some plants, make sure they get in the right amount of sun. We've had very little sun this month, which is a shame. So, and then tomorrow is the final tournament of the year for Team Whistlekick. We'll be in Boxborough, Massachusetts for the iPhone finale. I'll be doing a down and back. It's not quite 3 hours one way, so it's not horrible. And then there may or may not be a Halloween party tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. So that's what's going on. Nothing too big, nothing too special. And then Sunday, doing some work. Hopefully sleeping late, sleeping in. Yeah. I don't know what you're doing this weekend, but I hope you have a great weekend, great Friday. I didn't say Friday when I introduced the show. It's Friday, November 1st. Go check out that Ong Bak episode from yesterday if you haven't. Episode of Martial Arts Radio. And leave a comment over there about what the next movie we talk about should be. This is a different way of doing these movie episodes. Used to do a bunch of research. Some of you probably remember that. But now, live conversation with Josh and I. I'm not going to give you homework. I don't see the need for homework. Yeah, just have a good weekend. Don't forget, we do the show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. But you can catch it later on YouTube or in your podcast app. On Tuesday, remember, we've got episode of Martial Arts Radio Live coming at you. That's on Facebook. It's exclusive to Facebook. Well, the live part's exclusive to Facebook. We'll post it on YouTube later. So stay tuned for that. That's 8:30 Eastern time. If you haven't subscribed and turned on notifications for the YouTube channel, do it. It's the best way to know all the stuff we got going on. And we got some fun Christmas stuff, holiday stuff coming at you this year. I'm looking forward to it. In fact, that new product might be ready to launch. That would be great. So, yeah, that's all I got for you. I hope you have a great day, great weekend. I'll see you back here on Monday. Take care. Peace.